here with Cashman Prince, president of the Norwood Historical Society. He has some exciting news about a new grant that the Historical Society has been working on to make the day house more accessible. So Cashman, can you just give us some more information about this?
Sure. Thank you so much for the opportunity to talk to everyone about this. So before the pandemic started, the Historical Society had already been having conversations about how we could make the day house more accessible. Right now, you go up a couple steps to get into the door. There are thresholds between the rooms. So it's a challenge for our older members of the community who are not as active or as mobile. It's impossible if you're in a wheelchair. So we worked very closely with a local architecture firm, and they specialize in accessibility for older and historic homes called KMA Architects. And we came up with a plan where we could modify a part of the front porch. Right now, it's underutilized space. We don't do anything with it. Have a ramp that would make it accessible for people to get into the house. And then the real advantage of the sort of scale of the day house, we have wide doorways already. We have big open spaces. So once you get in the house, if you're in a wheelchair, all we have to do are remove a couple wooden thresholds between a couple rooms, and suddenly the ground floor is accessible. I really like the way the architect at KMA talked about this. We can never make the full house accessible. We have individual rooms that are on 3 different levels, but we can do the ground floor, and that'll have to make do until the day we all have our little jetpacks and we can fly through the house. But our goal is, if we make the ground floor accessible, that's where most of our events are. That's where we do a lot of the exhibits. So that way we can have more of the community come and join us. So anyway, we started all of this well before this pandemic. We applied for a grant through the Mass Cultural Council, and they work in partnership with the Mass Development Agency. And we just learned a few days ago that they have selected the Norwood Historical Society to receive this grant. So we're very excited to have this cultural facilities grant from the Mass Cultural Council coming our way.
That's awesome. I'm sure the residents of Norwood will be really excited about that. When will construction begin?
So we are now in a fundraising period because it's a matching grant, and the timeline is that so it all runs on a state budget as well. So the timeline now is we'll be doing fundraising from now until next spring, so about the next year, and all of the construction would be in the summer of 2021. It should only be about an 8-week construction project, max. The entrance ramp is going to be, taking place on the outside, on the side porch, the Bullard Street side. The interior work, other than moving thresholds, is that we want to finally add a public bathroom. So that's part of the same project. And we're going to be taking the office space that's not really something you see when you tour the day house. We're going to give up the society's office. We're going to move into another space and turn that into a public restroom. So altogether, we think it'll be about 8 weeks of construction. Allow for a little longer. Let's say we'll be out of commission for the summer. But the good news is we'll be in perfect shape to welcome the town for the 150th celebrations in 2022.
That's great. That's great news. That'll be awesome. What kind of fundraising are you guys going to be doing? Will you be announcing that? Can the community help with that?
The community is more than welcome to help with that. Yes, please. The fundraising, right now we're trying to develop some promotional materials. We've got some images. They're called presentation drawings from the architects. They're sort of renderings that show what this new construction will look like. We're approaching some local businesses and foundations. We're basically going to do anything we can in terms of fundraising opportunities. And we are absolutely welcoming individual donors to come forward. Very happy to talk to you about this in more detail and would welcome your contributions.
That's awesome. And how can they inquire more about the project, fundraising, more information about the Historical Society as well?
So the best thing to do, we have a post that's going live on our website. today, actually. And we've emailed our membership list yesterday with all of the news about this. So that's the starting point. The additional information will be coming in the next few days as we get it prepared and sort of the board approves it and everything. If people want to reach out and have specific questions, I would say start with our website at norwoodhistoricalsociety.org, or drop an email, info@norwoodhistoricalsociety.org, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. And there will be a lot more, I think, public information as this goes forward. We're right now just still processing this very happy news and trying to get everything prepared and out there. If this pandemic hadn't happened, we would have been going into sort of small group meetings or community meetings, inviting people into the house and talking about this. So we're obviously having to rethink strategy a little bit about getting the word out. And so, we're also working on that as well.
That's great. Well, Cashman, I really appreciate you updating the community on this. Sounds like an exciting project. We'll be checking in over the time, updating the community, seeing how we can help. And I appreciate you updating us, and good luck with everything.
Thank you so very much.